He's devious, and I know he did it for a reason. But you know the old saying, don't look a gift horse in the eyes.
That is not the saying. What?
The most important part about a story, especially nowadays, with Amazon allowing people to read the first chapter or first few pages of a book, the first sentence of a story, the first paragraph of a story, the first chapter of a story is critical in getting people to buy your book. So you really got to have a great story opener to hook readers, get them to buy your book. So what we did was we came up with a couple of different story openers that we're going to read to each other, and then we're going to think about what the larger story would be about.
Right. And just back to what you were saying, story openers, I feel like for me, literally the first sentence or at least the first paragraph, so critical, because if I read that first sentence, I know for a fact if I'm going to continue to read the book.
Yeah. It tells you what the story's about. It tells you the writing style. It tells you how well the author tells their story. I noticed that my writing too also is the best in the very beginning, and then it kind of gets ponderous and slow towards the end, which when I get towards the end, I like to take a lot of breaks in writing, right? So that every time I come to it, I'm fresh. So anyways, we're going to read some story openers. I'll read the very first one.
Okay.
And then Retha's going to read one that she has, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay. And you'll see our difference in styles of story openers.
Yeah, I think this will definitely show our different style of writing. So mine are actually very short. Yours is kind of long. But the very first one I got is, I love secrets. I especially love your secrets.
Ooh. I don't know, maybe it's the way you said it, but I was kind of it's kind of creepy perverty sort of situation. Right? Oh, was that intentional?
Exactly. So I imagine this one being like a serial killer kind of crime thriller where this guy is like a PI and he's learning people's secrets, and he's kind of like Dexter in that once he helps you with your thing, he's learning a lot about you or that potential suspect, and then he uses that information in some way.
Did you intentionally say it like that so I could get those vibes or what? Okay. You're so creepy. Yeah, that is really fucking creepy.
Right? Is that a good story opener? Would you read that?
Yes, but like we've said in the past, creepy stories, it really hits me and it scares me to read it because it's good. But so I don't know if I could continue because I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
I feel like that's where I often go. When I write, it's usually weird, creepy, or kind of funny. It's one of those three things.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just where my writing goes.
All right. Well, we all have a thing.
And I guess we're gonna find out here in all my story.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I'll read one more since you got one long one.
Okay.
I would love you more if you were in a different room.
These are just jokes. Are these just jokes? What do you call it? Dry humor jokes sort of situation?
This is more of just a joke. I don't know.
Oh no. I feel like that's something Priscilla said to you in real life, okay? And you just stole it from her.
Let me take that. My wife is savage, bro. She cut me deep. I was like, oh, God. And you know what? Like every good writer, I use that emotional damage to write a story.
Exactly. That's your fuel to your passion. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That was rough.
That's the beginning of a very good family saga.
Ooh.
Just deep emotional damage that we're unpacking throughout the whole novel.
Yeah, that's true right there. Yeah, that just kind of gives me the beginning of a really bad marriage, and then it's just that story.
So those are my two story openers.
Those are your two.
I got more, but let's hear your story opener, which seems more of a story opening paragraph.
I know. So our difference in styles is that, I just feel like you need a good paragraph or so, and then you just one-liners over here. This comedian over here. I think these are things where your stand-up or something.
I'm
gonna start. Are they story openers or are they just your comedic
I'm gonna have a
stand-up?
good solid 5 minutes of stand-up.
Yeah.
Open mic night.
5 minutes. Hey, that's pretty good. 5 minutes. I couldn't do it 2 seconds. All right, so here's mine. I even named it and everything.
Oh, you did? Okay, let me read the name. It's called Golden Haze.
Yeah. So this is a lot of my stories are things that I've actually dreamt. And I feel like for me...
Your dreams inspire you? My dreams terrify me.
God! Creepy again! Just constant. No, yeah, I have very vivid dreams and I remember all of my dreams. I have smell, taste, all of my senses. Yeah. So I don't know what that's about, but really inspires me. So I don't know. Okay, so this one.
It's probably all the mushrooms you've been doing before bed.
No, I don't do drugs. Just a comedian over here. Okay. Through the golden haze, there is a place of peace and magic. I even think that one is kind of cool. I don't know, right? Isn't that cool?
That alone is great because it's definitely, it tells you a few things, right? It's definitely fantasy. It's definitely like ethereal and very evocative, right? It paints this whole picture with just one sentence. That's really great. But go ahead and read
and that was legit my dream. Like, that is how it started. It was like...
Was it a narrator saying that?
No.
Like Morgan Freeman reading that sentence?
I'm not kidding to you. Like, my dreams are, like, cinematic.
Like Pixar type movies?
Shut the hell up. No, like, I really feel...
Steven Spielberg is in there like, directing your dreams. He's like, lighting!
There's a boom in the shot. There's a boom. No. I really feel like it's all happening, and I'm, like, narrating it to myself, but, like, that it's really happening. So I went through, like, I started seeing, like, this golden haze and then a clearer picture come in. Like, this whole scene. Sitting at the base of an old oak tree, she sits picking small yellow flowers with a fawn laying at her side, nibbling on blades of grass. Her thoughts are few and pure. And I even felt this girl's thoughts and stuff. It was insane.
I really like it.
Because there's legit no one else around. It's just her in this meadow or whatever. So suddenly the fawn leaps to its feet and bounds towards the woods. She looks off in its direction as the fawn disappears into the tree line. She notices it is dark in that spot. Almost a dark archway of pitch black. She finds herself at the edge of the forest, staring within its depths, curiosity consuming her. She can sense the danger, the pain, and the darkness. She knows if she enters, she can never return to this place. The dark beckons. I was like, that's pretty cool. But maybe that's just me.
But I think it is very cool. Like, it's the contrast between light and dark. We've got that peaceful golden meadow contrasted with the dark woods. But why is the darkness calling her? Is it just curiosity or is it something more inside her? I feel like there's a lot there to be explored, and as a story opener I think it definitely works because you want to know more.
In my dream I just remember her thinking to herself, like, she didn't know what was in there, but she knew that if she were to go, like, she couldn't come back to whatever this world is. Like, that would just,
I think that speaks to life, right? Like, every time you decide to take a path, you can never go back to that naive child that you were that had all these dreams, right? So it's really speaking to life itself, right? Isn't that what you were trying to get at?
Yeah, essentially, I guess. Actually, yeah, now that you say it back to me, I'm like, yeah, that's fucking right, bro.
That is what I was trying to say.
Right. I must have had one of those, like, I'm old situations before I fell asleep that night, because then that's what I dreamt of, you know? Like, fuck, I'm old and bitter now. This is my life. Why did I turn into an adult?
See, she's going to go into the forest to be bitter.
Be an adult, a bitter adult. That's what it is. Was that good or no?
Yeah, I think it was very good.
Pretty good. All right.
Yeah, I would read it. It's definitely a fantasy novel. It definitely feels like young adult. Fantasy. It feels like maybe a coming of age story with a lot of dark fantasy in it, but it seems like that's your thing.
Yeah, I love it.
But I would definitely read it.
You're like, but would I like it?
4 stars.
Oh, that's only 4.
All right, so I'm going to read my next story opening, which mine are like very short. Yours was like really in depth. We had a lot to say about yours. Mine are like one-liners.
I know.
He's devious, and I know he did it for a reason. But you know the old saying, don't look a gift horse in the eyes.
That is not the saying. What? Again, what is happening?
I struggled with this one because I know it's not the saying, right? So it's kind of the play on the saying, but I feel like if the reader gets the joke that I knowingly messed up the line, they would understand that this is a joke.
Okay.
But if they don't, they could easily be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't even understand English very well.
Who translated this for him?
Yeah, this translation from Spanish Portuguese is just
not well done.
But jeez. And then you would think like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? But it's at the eyes, so it's both like a mystery crime story, but kind of funny.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what?
Which I like witty protagonists, right? Like,
I mean,
I feel like although these are semi-funny, I don't feel like I'm that funny, but I love writing witty protagonists because the dialogue seems so sharp.
I might need help with that because I definitely do want one of my characters to be like real sharp and witty.
Yeah, throughout your day, if you think of something funny or if something funny happens, like Priscilla telling me something terrible, I'm like, that's hilarious. I would write it down.
That was one of your liners, Hope and liners.
Add it, yeah, and then I would add it to my story for that particular character. So just throughout the day, collect all the funny things you think about. Would you read that story if that was the very first line you read?
I'd be like, what? I'm like, what is...
You would be like, that's not the saying, and just close the book.
I'd be pissed. I'm like, this person's crazy.
All right, so the next one I have. Sometimes in life, you have to ask yourself, why am I so scared? Why am I against a wall? And why is my mom holding a knife to my throat?
Sometimes? Oh my god! Wow. I like that one, actually. I feel like I would read that one. So I'd be like, what the hell is happening?
It builds slowly. Like, you agree with most of it
Yeah,
until you get to that
wait,
last
what?
sentence. You're like, okay, sometimes in life you have to ask yourself, why am I so scared? You're like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm on board.
I know. For a second, I was like, wow, Tony's going to get a little deep right now with his opener. But
Why am I against the wall?
And then I was like,
oh, getting a little deeper? Okay,
oh,
okay. Why is my mom holding a knife to my throat? You're like, holy Jesus, man. So I'm going to tell you the genesis of this story was, it was pulled from... Maybe I'll cut it out. It was pulled from personal life stories. It was telling me this story about life, but this is how I summarized it as like a writer thinking about it afterwards. Thinking about the most compelling way to tell this horrible story. Wow. So this is where it came from. It came from that's true life story, man.
But true life does, you know,
inspires great fiction.
Good books. Holy I would read that one just because I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Like, why did this situation come about and how? And holy crap, how's this gonna end?
So, go ahead and read yours.
What could she say? It was all a little too late. He had stolen what she thought was her heart months ago, but now the proof was hard to deny. She didn't love him, nor did he love her. At least not enough to make it work.
Yeah, that seems kind of like that. We were just talking about like the marriage story, right? Mm-hmm. Like just emotional, dramatic couple coming to a possible end, and you're trying to figure out like what's happening. It's like another contemporary literature type story.
I feel like that's what this one would be. This is not fantasy whatsoever. I feel like
this is like a short story.
Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty good.
If you want to read this entire short story, I'll link it in the video description.
Ooh, well.
Let us know in the comments if you like that short story, and let Retha know if her writing's pretty good.
I know if I should continue this one because I wasn't sure if I should or not.
Yeah, I told her to write a story opener. And she was like, what is that? And I was like, 1 or 2 sentences. She writes a short story.
It's like a page.
All right, so here's the last one. I don't feel well. Can you feel my forehead and tell me if I believe in Jesus?
What?
I don't even know. Like,
I
what
don't
that
even know what that is.
About.
What? Tony, I think you did stand-up comedy just now. I think all your they're just one-liners. That's what they are. That's funny.
So let us know in the comments which story opener you liked. Let us know in the comments if you want us to do more of these videos. Thanks for watching.
That was funny. What? So stupid.
Preferably in a residential area. Should be played at high volume.